And we have our deputy clerk here with us this evening, taking the roll call votes in the absence of Clerk Robertson. So thank you very much, Ms. Henry.
Absolutely.
Good evening. Welcome to Grand Blanc Township's board meeting for Tuesday, March 3rd. If we could all rise for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk Henry, could you please call the roll?
Yes. Treasurer Yancho.
Here.
Trustee Ryder.
Here.
Trustee Fike.
Here.
Trustee Hugo.
Here.
And Supervisor Bennett.
Yes. Okay, thank you. And now I'll entertain, I would like to just mention that I would like to go into closed session at the end of the meeting, and that would be to discuss an issue pursuant to MCL 15.2681H to discuss an attorney-client privileged memorandum exempt from disclosure pursuant to MCL 15.2431G. If we could make that amendment to the agenda.
I'll move that amendment.
Okay, and motion for the agenda.
Motion for the agenda, change
Okay.
to the agenda, yes.
Support by Ms. Hugo.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
Trustee Ryder.
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Okay,
Passes.
thank you. Moving on to public comments. We have some comment slips. We just ask if anybody would like to make public comment that you fill out the form so we can follow up. First off, we have Miss Chelsea Welch from Crewwood Events. Good evening.
I'm Chelsea Welch with Crewwood Events. I'm asking just to reserve our public comment for item number 9C. We're here to look at our application for a liquor license.
Sure, we can grant that.
And we're here just to answer questions and discuss any concerns that you guys may have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. And we have Miss Lena Stamos. Good evening.
Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Lena Stamus, and I am running for the 67-4 District Court. I know I've been here before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating some of the information about myself, but I'd like to let some of our audience know some of the information as well. So I am a longtime resident of Grand Blanc Township, raising my family here. I have two boys, a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old. The 8-year-old attends Grand Blanc schools, which we love very much. I have been a prosecutor for over 10 years, so the district court handles anything from speeding tickets, misdemeanors, felony work, landlord-tenant, and as a prosecutor, I've handled many of those cases. I've tried hundreds of cases as a prosecutor. I've been assigned to the Child Abuse and Neglect Unit, Misdemeanor Unit, and I am a felony trial prosecutor where I handle cases for some of the most vulnerable victims, including domestic violence, child abuse, and animal abuse cases. I've also been very active in this community. I have been a big sister with the Boys and Girls Club for several young women. I serve on the board of the Arab American Heritage Council, and I've been a mentor with a program called Higher Autism, which helps individuals that would like to be assisted that are on the spectrum with finding employment. I've talked about this before. My oldest son, who attends Mason Elementary, has autism, so that's something that's near and dear to my heart, and I would like to give back to the community. We love the Grand Blanc schools. I'm involved in those as well with the PTO and helping as much as I can. I would like to serve as your next 67-4 District Court judge because I do believe I have the experience to do so. And I also have a passion for public service. If I am elected, my goal is, of course, to be fair and impartial. I care about public safety, but I also care about our community and the needs for people who made a mistake and might need some treatment, such as a veterans treatment court, addiction cases that need help versus just being punished. So those are the things that I would consider if elected as your next district court judge. So thank you for letting me speak today, and I hope you have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stamos. And next we have Miss Andrea LeGrand. Like, how do I pronounce that? Legender, okay.
And again, my name is Andrea Legender. Good evening, and thank you for letting me speak.
I would consider if a
Sorry.
Got it. I am running for Genesee County Probate Court Judge, a seat currently held by Judge Jenny Barkey. I'm a lifelong resident of Genesee County. I was raised here, I raised my daughter here, and I'm currently assisting in raising my granddaughter here. For the past 25 years, I've worked at the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office, where I've handled cases in probate court, district court, family court, and circuit court. And I currently lead the felony trial division. And as Trustee Hugo will tell you, I have tried quite a few cases, and she was actually a juror on one of my cases. And although that keeps me very busy, I'm also busy outside of the courtroom. I am a board member of the American Red Cross, the Genesee Career Institute, or also I call the Skill Center still to this day, Voices for Children, and the Community Foundation of Greater Flint. And I have been endorsed by Jenny Barkey herself and many other circuit and district court judges here in Genesee County, but I'd like to earn your support. So if you have any questions afterwards or anytime, you have my number, you have my email, please give me a call. I appreciate this time today and have a wonderful evening.
What's your name again? I'm sorry, I didn't.
And I will tell you, Andrea Legender, and how I tell everyone, remember Legender in November.
There you go.
Thank
I
you.
like that. Okay, seeing no other public comment, we will close public comment and move. Oh, you did? I don't have the slip. Did you fill one out? Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you. So we have Ms. Hendricks. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Susan Hendricks, Grand Bank, Michigan. I've been a resident since 1990, and we own a business here in Grand Blanc. I'm here about the flock cameras. Your first duty as a board is to protect the community. I mean, it's really everything you do is about that. Flock is giving data to ICE. They are lying about doing that. So they'll tell you they're not, but they are. You've received an email from me. The details gives you some article references about that. There are other quests that are misusing data. For instance, ICE tracking immigrants, citizens. They are using it to track women from out of state who are trying to get health care. They are tracking legal protesters as well as even an author of an op-ed. So this is a problem for all of our communities. People are not safe. Constant surveillance is in fact considered unconstitutional under the Fourth Amendment. And the ABA, American Bar Association, has warned against this. It is a problem. Many communities are discontinuing flock cameras. Bay City, Ferndale, Austin, Texas, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Eugene, Oregon, Oak Park, Illinois, Stanton, Virginia, and Hillsborough, North Carolina, for some examples. Even Ring cameras have discontinued their connection with Flock. They had a connection with Flock, and they have discontinued this for the same reason. Okay, I recommend discontinuing the use of our Flock cameras to keep our citizens and the people traveling through our community safe. Basically, just because we have a better solve rate, this does not justify the loss of constitutional rights for our community. Those who would give up essential liberty for a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty or safety. Benjamin Franklin. I'd also like the board to consider a resolution to have regulations for the people, the ICE, and other law enforcement coming through here. There should be no masks, require ID. We should protect sensitive locations. We should uphold the use of force standards, body cameras, standard uniforms and equipment seem like normal requirements, and yet we're in communities across the US, we are seeing those not happening. That is not a good way to police our citizenry, our residents. It's also not a good way to keep the public feeling, trusting their police. Regulations should be there for everybody so that we know who they are, where they're from. We can do all the things that make for safe law enforcement. And I think a resolution would be good, but please discontinue the use of flock cameras. It is unconstitutional, and it is leading to permanent surveillance state without any protections for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no further public comment, we will move on to our privilege presentation, and the board will hear a presentation by Chief Gent overviewing the 2025 Fire Department year-end report. Do we have the monitors on, Matt? Or are you going to use the monitors?
If you want to see the
Okay,
presentation.
all right. I'm not sure if they're on quite yet or not, but. I don't know which remote it is, but. I do have the printed copy, but I'm sure not everybody has that. Right? It's in your packet. Okay.
Oops.
We get shut off. There we go. It's all Matt's fault.
Told them just as long as the cartoons don't come on when they turn those TVs on. People are going to think we watch cartoons during the day or when they turn that TV on. It's
You don't? I do.
yeah,
Only on Fridays.
yeah. All right, there we go.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Appreciate all your guys' support. The fire department appreciates it, and it's an honor to be fire chief here. This presentation provides a transparent summary of Grand Blanc Township Fire Department's 2025 performance, the operational outcomes, staffing, and strategic direction. Reflects measurable results, responsible resource management, and continued focus on readiness. The goal is to show where we performed well, where adjustments were made, and how we are positioning the department to be successful in 2026. This summer, we worked together as a department to reevaluate our missions, vision, and value statement. The review of our mission and vision and value statements ensure that we reflect our current service model, operational readiness, and commitment to the community. The updated statements reinforce professionalism, accountability, innovation, teamwork. Where we performed well.
Sorry.
Teamwork and compassion is our core cultural standards. This alignment across leadership, suppression, prevention, and administration. Clear values guide decision-making, shape behavior, and strengthen public trust. They serve as a foundation for every operational and strategic decision moving forward. In 2025, our operations remain focused on safe, disciplined response on both routine and complex incidents. While the majority of the calls reflected predictable outcomes, we also prepared for managed higher-risk incidents, requiring coordinated, multi-agency response. Every major incident reinforces the importance of command presence, communication, and adherence to established procedures. Operational reviews following significant calls help identify lessons learned and strengthen future performance. Our objective remains consistent for effective mitigation, firefighter safety, and protection of life and property. Operational readiness is built on 3 pillars: training, staffing, stability, and firefighter wellness. We align training with real-world call data and high-risk scenarios to maintain competence across all disciplines. At the same time, including peer support and structured mentorship. A prepared firefighter is not only technically skilled, but mentally resilient and physically capable. Maintaining readiness requires continuous investment in both performance and people. We continued modernizing policies and standard operating guidelines to ensure clarity, consistency, and compliance. Updated the scheduling procedures, our operational standards, and documentation practices to reinforce accountability and reduce organizational risk. Clear governance structures support disciplined decision-making in alignment with township expectations. Modern policies are not static. They are operational tools that protect personnel, guide leadership, and ensure service delivery remains consistent, lawful, and transparent. We formalized monthly operational dashboards that provide clear board-facing performance indicators. These dashboards will track call volume, response times, staffing alignment, and prevention activity and fiscal benchmarks. The goal is measurable accountability and consistent reporting. Transparency strengthens trust, improves decision-making, and ensures leadership has real-time visibility into operational performance. Data guides strategy, not assumptions. Community engagement remains a foundational to public trust and prevention success. We will continue to expand outreach through public education, safety programs, and direct resident interaction. Clear communication during incidents, proactive risk reduction efforts, and accessible leadership reinforce accountability. Engagement is not an event, it's an ongoing relationship with the residents and the businesses we serve. Facility readiness, capital planning, and technology modernization directly impact response capability. In 2025, priorities included in completing Station 1, outfitting, maintaining infrastructure tied to operational capability, and advancing fleet replacement planning. We also evaluated technology improvements that enhance reporting accuracy, scheduling efficiency, and interagency coordination. Investments will remain disciplined, strategic, and aligned with measurable service outcomes. Our strategic plan moving forward is focused on measurable progress, operational stability, and sustainable growth. We formalized monthly EMS dashboards and board-facing KPIs, key performance indicators, to improve transparency and data-driven decision-making. We will continue advancing staffing solutions to achieve consistent 24/7 coverage at both stations while maintaining fiscal discipline. Unified command training with police and strengthened coordination with county dispatch and EMS partners will remain priorities. Facility improvements, particularly completion of Station 1, will directly support response capability. Each initiative is tied to performance, readiness, and long-term service reliability. In 2025, we responded to 883 calls for service, and these are classified in accordance with INFR's standards. This volume reflects the department's full operational footprint across fire suppression, rescue service calls, alarms, and other emergency responses. Consistent and accurate classification strengthens data integrity, ensures compliance with national reporting standards, and supports strategic planning, staffing evaluation, and resource allocation. Although the Grand Blanc Township Fire Department is not an EMS licensed agency, crews responded to 139 rescue and EMS-related incidents. These included medical assists, motor vehicle accidents with and without injuries, extrications, water rescues, and EMS standby calls. These responses highlight the ongoing demand for fire resources from system-wide EMS pressures and reinforce the importance of coordinated regional planning and reliable response. Our total call volume decreased by 145 calls, 14.1% compared to 2024. This reduction was primarily driven by the routine lift assist responses being eliminated, as our department is not a licensed EMS provider. This decision strengthened alignment with statutory authority, reduced organizational liability exposure, and allows resources to remain focused on core fire suppression and rescue responsibilities. The decrease reflects disciplined operational governance, not reduced service commitment. So false alarms continue to require full emergency response until confirmed otherwise. These are not no-work incidents. They demand staffing, apparatus deployment, and operational readiness. The ongoing inspection programs, alarm compliance enforcement, and public education remain essential to reducing preventable activations and limiting unnecessary system strain. In 2025, our total property value at risk was $30,049,106. Of that, $25,331 $101 was protected, with $4,718,000 lost. This represents approximately $5.40 for every $1 lost. These outcomes demonstrate effective incident command, rapid deployment, coordinated suppression efforts, and strong operational execution in protecting life and property. In 2025, we placed increased emphasis on monitoring turnout times and overall response performance to ensure consistent, reliable deployment from both stations. Response reliability remains one of our primary operational benchmarks, directly influenced by staffing, stability, station readiness, and disciplined scheduling. Analysis of peak activity trends shows the highest call volume occurring during the midweek, particularly during late morning and early afternoon. Understanding these demand patterns allows us to better align staffing models and daily operational readiness with real-world service needs. Incident distribution by response zone continues to inform apparatus placement, coverage evaluation, and long-term strategic planning. This data-driven approach ensures balanced service delivery and equitable response capabilities across the township. Automatic and mutual aid remain critical components of our operational resilience. Through Genesee County mutual aid agreements and MABUS participation, we both receive and provide assistance during larger or resource-intensive incidents. In 2025, only a small number of incidents required incoming mutual aid, while we provided support to neighboring communities when requested. These partnerships expand surge capacity without adding fixed staffing costs. Regional collaboration strengthens overall public safety, improves interoperability, and ensures that no single department faces high-risk incidents alone. Staffing remained a primary operational focus, directly tied to response reliability and firefighter safety. Our model includes full-time and 24-hour personnel supported by part-time firefighters to maintain coverage across both stations. During the year, we experienced 5 part-time separations. 5 part-time firefighters left the department and successfully onboarded 5 new part-time firefighters, reinforcing our commitment to workforce stability. We continue advancing long-term staffing solutions aimed at achieving consistent 24/7 coverage while maintaining fiscal responsibility. Recruitment and retention, scheduling discipline, and performance accountability remain central priorities. Stable staffing is not simply a personnel issue. It is the foundation of a dependable service delivery and operational readiness. This year, we recognize milestones of service members that reflect dedication, experience, and long-term commitment to the department and the community. These milestones represent institutional knowledge, leadership continuity, and cultural stability. Retaining experienced personnel strengthens mentorship, operational consistency, and safety on the fire ground. Recognizing years of service reinforces morale and acknowledges the personal sacrifices made by our members and their families. Continued focus on retention, professional development, and workforce stability remains a top priority as we move forward. Station operations focused on readiness, efficiency, and facility improvements tied directly to response capability. We continued outfitting the new Station 1 and maintaining both facilities to ensure apparatus, equipment, and personnel are deployment ready at all times. Operational adjustments align staffing with call demand and fiscal responsibility. Daily station procedures emphasize training, apparatus checks, and preventable maintenance to reduce downtime and improve reliability. Our priority remains simple. When a call comes in, crews are staffed, equipped, and prepared to respond immediately. In 2025, the Fire Marshal's Office focused on fire prevention, compliance, and risk reduction. Key activities included fire inspections, plan reviews, occupancy approvals, complaint investigations, and follow-up enforcement. Emphasis was placed on high-risk occupancies and commercial properties to reduce incident likelihood and improve life safety compliance. Public education efforts supported alarm compliance and code awareness. Prevention directly contributes to reduced fire loss, improved property conservation outcomes, and safer emergency operations for our responders. Continued focus will include proactive inspections, stronger documentation tracking, and aligning prevention metrics with department procedure dashboards in 2026. In 2025, the smoke and carbon monoxide alarm installation program strengthened community risk reduction by targeting vulnerable and high-risk households. Crews installed and replaced smoke and carbon monoxide alarms to improve early detection and life safety compliance. This proactive effort reduces fire fatalities, supports code adherence, and builds community trust. Installations were prioritized based on need, age of residents, and resident vulnerability. The program reflects our commitment to prevention over reaction. Moving forward, we will track installations, geographic distribution, and outcomes to align prevention efforts with measurable risk reduction data. Public education remained a core component of our community risk reduction strategy in 2025. Crews delivered fire safety presentations, station tours, school visits, and community outreach events focused on prevention, emergency preparedness, and life safety awareness. These engagements strengthen community trust while reinforcing safe behaviors before emergencies occur. Special emphasis was placed on youth education, senior safety, and alarm awareness. Public education not only reduces incident frequency, but also improves outcomes when emergencies happen. In 2026, we will continue to expand on these outreach efforts and begin education initiatives with identified community risk trends. The fire safety trailer that we purchased from the Davidson Fire Department remains one of our most effective hands-on public education tools. It provides residents, especially children, with a realistic, controlled environment to practice fire safety skills such as identifying hazards, recognizing alarms, and executing safe escape. The trailer reinforces key behaviors like stop, drop, and roll, and checking the doors for heat. By simulating real-life conditions in a safe setting, we improve retention and confidence. This proactive investment in education directly supports life safety outcomes and strengthens our long-term community risk reduction strategy. The fire extinguisher training system allows participants to safely practice using extinguishers in a controlled live fire simulation, using the PASS method: pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Participants gain hands-on confidence without real hazard exposure. This program is especially valuable for businesses, schools, and community groups. Early, effective use of fire extinguishers can prevent small incidents from becoming major losses. The trainer enhances preparedness, promotes workplace safety, and reinforces our commitment to prevention over reaction. Training remained a top operational priority in 2025 to ensure readiness, safety, and performance consistency. Personnel completed structured drills in fire suppression, vehicle extrication, incident command, search and rescue, and hazardous materials response. Joint training with police and unified command coordination with other multi-agencies. Emphasis was placed on scenario-based exercises that mirror real call patterns and peak activity periods. Compliance training, equipment proficiency, and safety refreshers were also completed to maintain certification standards. In 2026, we will continue expanding realistic, performance-measured training aligned with incident data and operational risk factors. Our training model was intentionally built around actual call data and community risk profiles. Drills mirrored our most frequent responses: vehicle accidents, rescue, and offensive fire operations, while also preparing crews for low-frequency, high-consequence events such as commercial structure fires, water rescues, and hazardous material incidents. Scenario-based evolutions emphasize decision-making, command presence, and communication, as well as firefighter safety. We also incorporated unified command exercises with partner agencies. This balanced approach ensures readiness for everyday demands while maintaining the capability to respond to complex, high-risk incidents. As we move into 2026, our focus remains clear: reliable response capabilities, stewardship of our resources, and measurable improvement in service delivery. We will continue advancing consistent staffing, strengthening prevention efforts, improving performance dashboards, and reinforcing regional partnerships for every operational and strategic decision that will remain centered on community safety, firefighter readiness, and fiscal discipline. Our commitment is not only to respond when called, but to proactively reduce risk, improve outcomes, and earn the continued trust of the residents and businesses we serve. In 2025, we strengthened our probationary firefighter training through a structured field training officer program. This model ensures that new firefighters are evaluated in real-world operational settings under direct mentorship. The FTO process emphasizes skill and competency, policy compliance, and situational awareness, as well as cultural alignment with our department values. Daily observation reports and documented performance benchmarks provide accountability and consistency. The program bridges classroom training and independent response readiness, reducing risk and reinforcing standards. Moving forward, we will continue refining the evaluation metrics to ensure every probationary firefighter meets operational expectations before full release to duty. In 2025, we continued strengthening our peer support program to prioritize firefighter mental health and wellness. The program provides confidential, peer-based support following critical incidents, cumulative stress exposure, or personal challenges. Fire service work carries unique psychological demands, and early support reduces unique long-term impacts. Peer support commitment peer support complements formal resource by offering trusted, accessible conversations within our own ranks. Our commitment is clear: taking care of our personnel is operational readiness. Healthy firefighters are safer, more focused, and better prepared to handle situations in the community effectively. Our fleet remained mission-ready through disciplined maintenance, inspection, and life cycle management. Apparatus reliability is directly tied to response performance and firefighter safety. Preventative maintenance schedules, equipment testing, and timely repairs were prioritized to minimize downtime. We continued evaluating vehicle age, service hours, and replacement timelines to support long-term capital planning. Participation in mutual aid agreements further reinforces the importance of dependable apparatus. Looking ahead, fleet planning will remain aligned with operational demand, fiscal responsibility, and maintaining safe, effective response capacity across all service areas. Our current fleet remains operational. However, several units are approaching their key life cycle benchmarks based on age, mileage, engine hours, and maintenance frequency. As apparatus ages, repair costs increase and downtime risk also increases. We continue tracking the condition, reliability trends, and service history to inform capital replacement long-term sustainability. Maintaining safe, dependable apparatus is critical not only for response capability, but also for firefighter safety and risk management. Future planning will focus on phased replacement aligned with budget discipline and operational demand. In 2026, our focus is aligning strategy, staffing, and service delivery into one cohesive operational plan. We will continue implementing measurable performance dashboards and advancing long-term staffing solutions that support consistent coverage at both stations. Staffing efforts will prioritize recruitment, retention, and sustainable scheduling practices. From a service perspective, we will strengthen prevention initiatives, enhance interagency coordination, and ensure response reliability across all zones. Every decision will balance operational readiness with fiscal discipline. Our objective is to deliver dependable, data-driven fire protection that meets community expectations today and positions us responsibly for the future. Once again, I'd like to thank you for your support, your time, attention, and I welcome any questions, feedback, or discussion.
Mr. Fike?
Your response time was around 7% for the fire department? 7 minutes, rather?
Yes.
Was that up or down from the previous year?
It is slightly up.
And you mentioned good intent and false alarms. They seem to be the two things that rose significantly.
Yes.
Forgive my ignorance. Good intent, what is that?
Somebody sees a car on the side of the road and they think something is wrong, so they call the fire department and we go by to check it out and we don't find a vehicle there or there's no problem at the scene.
And false alarms are obvious.
Yeah, false alarm is a business, an alarm goes off at a business. The alarm company calls us to respond, we respond there and there's no hazard.
This isn't kids calling on the phone and saying, hey, there's a fire.
No, that is not.
Yeah. The peer support team, forgive me for so many questions, is that new?
That is new. That's something that we started this year in cooperation with the police department.
And is that one of the ways that you're expanding coordination with the police department?
That is one of the ways. That is.
What are the other ways?
We are going to get together this year, myself and Chief Rennie, to go over tabletop exercises and any other ways that we can cooperate together to enhance both the police and fire department services.
What's the status of the new fire truck, and do you believe it's a good purchase?
I haven't had a status update of the new vehicle. The last time I talked to Sutphin was to check into the what's the right word I'm looking for? The possibility of stopping the production of that vehicle. And that was back in October or November. And it was about ready to be put into production on the production line. Do I think it's a good purchase? Overall, absolutely, I think it's a good purchase. It's going to replace an aging piece of apparatus, and it's going to have long-term benefits to the fire department.
Thank you.
You used up all your questions, Joe.
I always do.
False alarms, Chief. I'm not sure, probably direct this to Mr. Limita, but regarding false alarm, do we have an ordinance with regard? I know in some communities, after so many false alarms, there's a penalty or something like this. I don't know. Are we seeing repeat false alarms at same locations?
The repeat offenders continually, and that would be part of an overall cost recovery program that we could implement that into.
So we are seeing repeat.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I take it we don't have anything like that right now, so might be something we want to look at. You mentioned the lift assist. I know we discontinued that. I have seen some things in the news, Detroit News or Detroit Free Press, I forget which one, but anyways, regarding that a lot of communities feel they are subsidizing assisted living and independent living facilities by having the fire department, running out there every time they need a lift assist. That many communities don't feel that's right, so I think we're ahead of the curve on that. With regard to collaboration, I just wanted to say that Mr. Limita and I do have a meeting tomorrow with several other municipalities. I know at the last board meeting we said that we had received a proposal for a study. It'd be premature for me to discuss that right now. I want to meet with the other municipalities that we're working with collaboratively to discuss that proposal. If everybody's good with it, I didn't want to surprise some of the other municipalities' boards with us putting that out there, but hopefully by our next board meeting, all the municipalities will have bought in, and we'll be able to present that to the board and to the public as far as what we're looking at in terms of studies and potential for collaboration with other communities and see where that goes with each of the municipalities. So that is something that is active. We have a meeting tomorrow morning, in fact, with the other municipalities on that topic and that to go over the agreement and see if everybody's good with it. Anybody else have any questions? Mr. Go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. It's really beautiful and well done, and I needed it, so it's perfect timing. And And thank you for the peer support team. My son does mortuary transport, and my husband has done it, and it's the things that you see. I'm really glad that that's being addressed, so thank you.
Yeah, that would be a very difficult job to do that your son has. Probably could use the peer support as well. Mr. Limata, in terms of the agreement with Patriot in combination with the city of Grand Blanc for the EMS, I know that there was a meeting. What is the approximate start date for that?
So met with Patriot last week, and as of whatever day that was, Thursday maybe, they were looking at 2 weeks out, and it really has more to do with the IT department with Genesee County 911 to get everything into place, but we believe that, 2 weeks and worst case scenario, 3 weeks. So that was a week ago. So, sometime in the next week, 2 weeks, we should.
Right now, it's
Rigs parked in Grand Blanc Township.
It's relying on 911 getting their systems in place, them to geofence it and what have you.
Correct.
And are they looking at 2 units in addition to the city?
That's what we were told is, they'll have 2 units in Grand Blanc Township to supplement the one that's in Grand Blanc City. All 3 of those units and then would be geofenced into the 36 square miles, and we could supplement the city. The city's unit park there would supplement the township, so it will have a noticeable impact on our EMS times, I would assume. It'll be interesting to see that data as it comes out, but having 3 units that are geofenced into the 36 square miles for the greater Grand Blanc area is going to be maybe not a permanent solution, but a great right now solution.
And we'll be able to track those times as well, those response times.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, the presentation, I thought, the printed, the comments, I thought it was very well put together, and looking forward to the monthly reports as well.
Thank you.
So I thought it was a very nice report. Yes, Ms. Hugo?
I just have one question. You had mentioned the part-time staffing. In 2025, you had 5 part-time firefighters separated from the department, and then you brought on 5 new part-time firefighters. Where are we with the full-time firefighter?
They're currently with the HR. As far as continuing on with that process, I'm not sure of the timeline on that.
Okay.
How many applicants do we have, Mr. Limina?
There were 28 at my last count, and I met with HR manager Ned Zwicky. She was off on a medical and back as of yesterday, so that process will be moving forward, and that's something you and I and she are going to touch base on tomorrow, the next day.
Sounds good.
28, that's pretty good, isn't it? I mean,
It was good. There was great response, both internal and external.
okay.
Thank you. And thank you for your presentation.
Oh, thank
Any
you.
other questions for Chief Jen? Okay. Thank you very
right.
much, Chief.
Great presentation.
Appreciate the presentation. Okay, moving on to approval of the consent agenda. Somebody care to make, Mr. Fike makes that motion,
Support.
supported by Mr. Yancho.
Supervisor Bennett,
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho,
Yes.
Trustee Ryder,
Yes.
Trustee Fike,
Yes.
and Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is our public hearing with regard to creating the Green Knoll Subdivision Special Assessment District. Mr. Limita?
So this is the opportunity for the public and members of the Green Knoll subdivision to share their thoughts with the board on the idea of creating the special assessment district. We did have the residents of Green Knolls circulate petitions. I believe it was about 54% of respondents asked us to move forward. So this is your opportunity to hold that public hearing, hear from the public, yay or nay, or any other specific concerns about the creation of special assessment, which you guys will consider in the regular agenda.
And this is for the paving of their streets in Green Knoll.
Correct.
We did receive communication, was provided this by our clerk's office, that Christine and Todd Rabideau from 5234 Sunland Street, they did sign the petition. However, they would like to remove their names from the petition. Ms. Henry is aware of that, and the percentage is still over the threshold of 51%. Don and Amy Master Mateo, 9304 Robinwood Drive, did not sign the petition. I'm not sure if they objected, but,
That's what.
okay, all right. So that doesn't change the percentage. So we are over the percentage at this time required, but we will open the public hearing for any comment with regard to this special assessment district at this time. So does anybody wish to speak with regard to this special assessment district? Anybody wish to speak with regard to the Green Knolls public hearing? Seeing nobody that wishes to speak on that topic, we will close the public comment and come back to the board. And we do not have any old business, so moving on to new business. Item A, the board will consider a motion to approve Resolution 26-07, creating the special assessment district for Green Knoll subdivision. Mr. Fike?
Motion.
Mr. Fike makes that motion, supported by Ms. Hugo. Any discussion, concerns? We appreciate the work that the residents did to get that petition. We know that it's a lot of work, and we appreciate your work. With that, a motion's been made and seconded. We'll go ahead with the roll call. Ms.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
And Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item B, the board will consider a motion to approve Resolution 2608. And this one is to hold a public hearing for the creation of Warwick Hills Subdivision Road Improvement Special Assessment District at the next regularly scheduled board meeting, which will be on March 17th. It just happens to be St. Patrick's Day, as everybody probably knows it has some Irish in them. But anyways, bottom line is that we need to have a motion to schedule that public hearing, if somebody cares to make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Yancho, supported by Ms. Hugo. Any discussion, concerns? Seeing none, we'll call the vote.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Item C, the board will consider a motion to deny a Class C liquor license application from Crewwood Events LLC based on an incomplete application, liquor license policy section 2, 13 impact on 13, section 2, 13.13, impact on traffic, and liquor license policy section 3, 2, zoning noncompliance. And Mr. Lehman must have stepped out. Mr. Chubb, anything? I know you were part of that committee. Would you like to comment?
Sure. Yes, so this does show the results of the meeting of the Liquor Commission. After we did meet, it was determined that there were these three deficiencies in the application. The way that the process works is that the commission makes the recommendation, but it's not the ultimate, it doesn't make the ultimate determination. So much like the planning commission, its recommendation comes to this board for your review. The shortcomings were noted that the submission was incomplete. There was additionally concern that there would be a large impact on traffic, which is something that needs to be considered pursuant to section 2 sub 13. And then there was concern regarding whether the property met all the appropriate zoning requirements, given that there was, this site was subject to the PUD. Your recollection, Dennis? Yeah, and this was not consistent with the liquor usages that were referenced in the applicable PUD application.
I know we reserved time for the owners to speak. I would love this business to be very successful, and I've communicated that I want to do everything I can to help them be successful. I think it's fabulous use for that facility. I've seen some of the plans. They look amazing, and I want to make sure that we help you. There's a couple of hurdles, too, that I'm aware of that haven't been overcome. One is the whole thing with REUs, residential equivalent units. For those that are not familiar, when you have a business, when you change the use of that, in this case, it's a residence, but when you take a business, and let's say it's a retail facility, and you change it to a hair salon, the amount of water and sewer that you're going to use is substantially more than a retail. And so the residential equivalent units, which the county sets those and the fees for those and what have you, have to be approved by the county and by the township as well. So I know that application would have to be forthcoming before you can even really start holding events there. And there are some considerable costs typically associated with that. So that's something too that I'm sure you're planning to do as you move forward. And also, the liquor licenses, we don't get them very often. I mean, when we have a significant change in our census, that's when we would get, to my understanding, we would get any additional. We have a large development that we're hoping to get some, restaurants that are 7 days a week. I hope that your wedding business does phenomenal, but I know you're not planning on having weddings probably 7 days a week. It's probably going to be a weekend type thing. And I am familiar quite a bit, and I've spoken with a number of other wedding venues that basically the caterer license typically would handle the alcohol if you chose to go that route. And I know you'd rather own the license to be able to provide the alcohol, but that is a way that a lot of the venues do handle it. And I guess, my thoughts are that while the commission or the committee recommended against it, I think, in the future, if things, if your business gets online and we can see a necessity for that, I would be in favor of it. But at this time, I think it's kind of overkill to give a Class C license for that minimal use of it. I'm hoping that your business, thrives, but I think a lot of other things has to be in place. But anyways, that's my thoughts. Mr. Pike?
Can we ask you some questions?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Can you give me the little, synopsis of what you had planned to do with this liquor license?
Yeah, we just plan on using it as an offering for any events that come on. We would serve it as kind of in a restaurant, having a banquet or something like that in the facility. So there's a lot of event venues can get liquor license and a lot of them can't due to any sort of reasons, cost or whatever might be prohibitive. But we do know a lot of the more successful ones have those liquor licenses, and that's where, we would like to be able to control that and be able to control, kind of the costs associated with it.
Okay.
Mr. Yancho?
Go ahead, are you done?
So people would park at your facility, and that's all been determined. How many could you hold at a wedding or reception, let's say?
Like 175, yeah. But that's
Our
usually on the
tentative
high.
occupancy prior to the fire chief coming with our final plans, we're at 175
Yeah, we have to
right
get
now.
our site plan finalized and our building permits finalized, so.
That being said, with the application, I know that typically needs to be completed prior to being to this point. So I don't know that we were necessarily ready for the vote at this time with the application being denied. There's still part of the liquor, not the policy, the process that obviously that they weren't able to achieve that portion of it.
Okay. So you're not ready for a vote tonight, are you saying?
If that's an option, yeah. Honestly, weren't sure if that, we were kind of.
We found out Thursday.
Yeah, we found out Thursday that we were here. To be perfectly honest, we've been asking questions and kind of asking what the Liquor Commission needed from us. And our final site plan isn't complete with Jeremy in the zoning department and whatnot. So, I don't know that we're ready to be at this position right now.
What about this whole alternative of a banquet situation that
So,
Scott was
To
mentioning?
be fully honest, without a liquor license held by us, it does cut our revenue by about a third. And with the property that obviously you can expect the costs in owning it and taxes and utilities and everything that goes with it, it's pretty imperative that we are able to either have a license through the township and be able to maintain that not just control of cost, but also control of serving and the staff that would entail.
A lot of times with these, the catering licenses, there's, commission kind of where It'll be an outside, someone from a different city would come in, provide their liquor license. A restaurant can do that, hold the liquor license, use that liquor license to serve alcohol at a different location. So then they would get the cost of that, and they would get they would charge what they would want. And if we were to try and get that cost up there even higher, to make any money off of it, it becomes kind of prohibitive to brides and grooms of their liquor costs get quite astronomical.
I guess with that being said, too, with the board, we hope that you guys keep in mind that that profit, obviously, if we hold the liquor license, it's staying in the township and with residents, rather it being outside businesses coming in.
Mr. Yancho?
Yes, I'm not familiar with the wedding venue business, but do you have a commercial kitchen, or do you have to?
No, it'll be all off.
You will have to have caterers provide food and
The different
distribute the food and other things.
Yes, all food
So
will
you
be
would,
in-house.
you would have to have those catering companies come into your facility and provide the food.
Yep.
And typically those same catering companies would have a liquor license?
Some don't.
Yeah, they usually have to have a physical location, and that physical location can't just be a kitchen. You know, it has to have that liquor license attached to that physical location. So some of them operate out of commissary kitchens or joint kitchens.
Okay.
Or trucks, you know, others operate out of trucks as well, but,
Yeah, some offer the service with a little liquor license and some do not, so that would be.
But if you were going to have a capacity of 150 or 175 people, that's probably not going to happen out of a food truck or anything.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Yeah,
I also would like to see your business succeed. I think it's a great location, and I hope it becomes a shining star for our community.
Thank you. We're trying.
Yeah, typically, the caterer, the venue will take 5 to 10% on top of whatever. So for example, if you were having a wedding at a venue, it would be unknowns to you if you were holding the wedding there, but typically the caterer, they would have an agreement with the catering company to take 5 or 10% and negotiate that anybody who's going to cater there, and they restrict who can cater there because obviously they want somebody who's going to treat their place well and reflect well on them.
Okay.
But they typically get a percentage of that, so they would get a percentage of the alcohol sales too, but what they're saying is the cost, you know, they want to lower the cost for that by having it themselves.
And if I may,
Yes.
if you were denied that liquor license tonight, could you reapply in the future?
I have no idea.
We haven't gotten an answer on that.
Yes?
We're learning as we go right now. with this
Yes,
one.
good.
Me too.
So the only thing I would say to that, Treasurer Yancho, is on 9F tonight, you're going to be presented with an updated liquor license policy, something we've talked about for several years now. When the committee met, we also finalized our recommendations on the liquor license that this board will be considering. If they were to come back and reapply, it'll be under that new policy. It requires another $1,000 review from the committee, and the review process is a little more extensive, requires a little more information, because our other one was outdated. It had gone back a couple decades, right, since it had been updated. So that would be a part of it. And also just remind the board, you're not determining whether or not they can have a liquor license. You're only making a decision on whether you're going to grant them one of your quota licenses, one of the ones that you hold from Michigan Liquor Control Commission. If you were to say no, they can still go and buy a liquor license on the market. So you're not determining whether or not they're going to have a liquor license. You're determining whether or not you want to provide them with one of your quota licenses from the state.
And how many are there right now?
We have 7 right now. The township holds 7. We just received 2 after the last census.
You get an additional one for every 1,500?
1,500.
1,000 or?
It depends. You're capped at so many, so based on what we had, we were allowed 2 more based on the increase of the census.
But one of the things that we hear overwhelmingly from residents is they want to see more restaurants. And, you know, that's what we've been looking for, is how do we entice restaurants to come to the area?
We totally understand
So,
that.
yeah.
Just
Mr.
what-
Fike?
for clarification. So, It appears we're not voting tonight. We're going down that path anyway.
I need to check with our legal counsel
All
to
right,
see if that's possible.
What are your next steps then?
Yeah, I think getting what you guys need for that application, getting further along with Jeremy and zoning, getting our full zone, site plan in and our floor plan, getting the chief out to make sure everything looks good before it goes to a vote. And then the second items that we're looking at, I think it's clear that the commission is okay with alcohol being on the premises and it being served through somebody else.
Yeah,
Right? So-
yeah.
Or through us.
Or-
well, yeah, I mean, the planning commission approved it.
Right, so that would be purchasing one on the market, which, yeah, it gets expensive, that's why we're here first.
Yeah.
obviously, with all the other costs
1,500
right-
versus 55,000, so.
To be frank.
Yeah, they're
right now.
probably, I haven't checked lately. I've seen them, is it 50? Okay. They have been 30, but they may have gone up. But there's some other things, the REUs, the parking, all that, right now would not be able to hold a wedding if they were at it tomorrow.
Was there anything that Mr. Chubb said, though, that could be done now? Or is everything that you were saying?
So the three issues that we referenced are all under the current policy, which again, you're going to be looking at item 9F tonight.
Yeah.
And so moving forward, regardless, there'll need to be a new application process, which isn't prohibited if there is even if there was a negative vote tonight. And of course, alternatively, if 9F doesn't pass, then this policy will still be in place. And so I think both of those are things to think about. But I think the supervisor was referencing, if you're familiar with the Ocker mansion, it's a great big space. There's a lot to get it into the shape to be a 175-person wedding venue, so there is some time here as well.
Yeah. It's on the agenda. Are we required to vote on it, or?
It would be a motion to table, but again, the result would be that they start over because of, if
Right.
9F were to be approved, that is.
Okay,
That was my question.
okay.
Yeah.
I have a couple of
Yes,
questions.
Ms. Ryder?
Hi. So I'm new, so I don't know anything about, so where is the business? It's in a house?
Yep, it's Belsey and Perry. We own about 50 acres there with the old Ocker estate.
Okay. How many events do you have per month,
So
per?
we're currently under construction. So yeah, this was approved.
Okay.
in October with the board, actually, with our site plan and whatnot.
So you haven't opened yet?
Additionally approved.
Yeah, we still
Okay.
go through our county stuff with the sewer. We have to go through our building permits. We have to go through all of that stuff. So to get the bars inspected, to do all of that, that's probably a solid 4 to 6 months away.
We'll be taking weddings, or are scheduling later this year, so we're not at that position.
Okay,
right now.
okay. So the caterers bringing in alcohol is a substantial loss for you? Okay. And this is in a neighborhood setting?
Nope, we're right off
on
of
the
Belsey.
Yeah.
Okay,
Across from Kings Point subdivision.
okay, I know where it is now.
By the Speedway.
The big gates.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, what
Is-
is your desire?
Is the proposed new liquor ordinance, if that's the right term, is it more or less restrictive?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily restrictive, but because it's been updated after, I think more than 2 decades since the other one was really created, it's just more complete. There's a checklist that goes along with it. It makes it easier to navigate from both parties, from both the committee, the township side, and from the applicant side, because there is a checklist that helps them walk through to make sure that all the information was provided that we're going to require. So it may be a little more time consuming, but I think all in all, it's going to provide better detail, better information about the applicant to help the committee and ultimately the board to make decisions on whether they're going to grant a quota license or not.
We probably would require the same information, it's just that it wasn't in a clear format, checklist format, stating what it is we want. So instead of a back and forth, hey, can we get this, it's clearly outlined up front.
Mr. Supervisor?
Yes,
We have an application now. We currently do not have an application, but in this process with this new policy, we have an application that they have to fill out for all the information that we're requiring. So moving forward, so that'll make it a lot easier too, to make sure the application's fully filled out moving forward as well.
Okay. Somebody care to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we deny this application for a liquor license based on the report from the internal committee.
Okay. I'll support it. Any discussion? And again, you're welcome to fill out the new application once you get further down the road.
Supervisor Bennett?
So wait a minute. A yes is to deny, a no is to approve.
Correct.
Well,
No, it's to deny. There's no motion to approve right now. It's to deny.
deny the denial.
To approve the denial, or?
If a yes vote is to approve the denial,
Okay.
a no vote would be to not approve the denial.
Yeah. Got it.
That is correct.
Yes vote is.
It's a little, I'm slow
approve the
sometimes,
denial.
you know.
Okay. So, go ahead.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
And Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. And again, anything we can do to help you, we want to do it, okay?
Did you get the supervisors?
It was the very first vote in it.
Okay. I wasn't sure either, but
I
I'll
was for the
trust
very
you.
first vote.
Okay, thank you. Item D, the board will consider a motion to purchase a ChargePoint CP 6000 electric vehicle charge from Gray Bar Electric Company via My Deal Purchasing for $13,788.64, and authorize the Township Superintendent to execute all related contracts, documents, and purchase orders. Mr. Lemata?
As part of our new building for the DPW and fire station, we did incorporate into those building plans to have a EV charger out in front of the DPW in that parking lot there. As we're getting ready to close out the building, we've been working with consumers as well because there are some rebates available, but we had to get to this process before we could even have that conversation. So our conversations are promising with consumers that there may be up to a $7,500 rebate for installing a level 2 charger, that we are working to get that application in. This is a dual design, so 2 people could charge. It is not, you could spend a great deal of money on these things and a lot higher for the fast charger. We didn't go in that direction. One of the things, and we looked at, you could have had somebody else come in and install it, but then we don't control the rates or make any money on it or make less on it. And after doing an ungodly amount of research, thank you, Mr. Boggs, he was unable to be here tonight. But this is our recommendation, and it was highly recommended, not only from consumers as one of theirs, but this ChargePoint spoke with a lot of people who have used them, who have them. We can control it, we own it, we control what we charge and what we make on it. So our recommendation is that we put this in. And it'd be great to have, I know that we do have a couple of folks here in the township who drive those EV vehicles, and I think they'll be very happy if we were to put a charger right here on the campus that they would be able to avail themselves of, and we can make a little money off them while they're here.
Except they'll have a little bit of a walk to get over here to the boardroom.
Oh, but walking is good, and that also helps them get their steps in.
Yeah. Well, this is a good price from what I've seen. And the faster chargers are substantially more. I mean, yeah, I've seen the price on those too, but I think this is a really good price for it.
I'd be happy to make a motion.
Oh, of course. Supported
I
by,
have one question.
okay, I think Mr. Yancho supported, but go ahead.
Sorry.
Hugo.
How much does it cost to charge one, if you were to go to one of these places, how much?
Charge up a vehicle?
Yeah.
It depends.
How much you need to,
How much do you need? How long, are you going to be hooked up? It depends.
sometimes people, I've seen them stop for 10, 15 minutes to get enough charge to get to the next place.
Usually less than $20 though.
Okay.
And they would pay by card, or the app or whatever they have that
At their convenience.
keeps track of it. Mr. Yancho?
I have 3 family members, immediate family members that have EVs, and they think this is the best charger that we could purchase, and they're looking forward to it. You know, if you go to, let's say, the Myers on Morris Road, you might wait 20 minutes in your vehicle or an hour in your vehicle to get a charge. So this is not very dissimilar
Right.
to that situation.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns? All right, we had a motion and a seconded. Ms. Henry?
Trustee Fike,
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett,
Yes.
Trustee Ryder,
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho,
Yes.
Trustee Hugo,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Item E, the board will consider a motion to award the Creasy Bicentennial Park Improvements Project to Johnson and Sons Excavating, Inc. in the amount of $1,238,000 and authorize the Township Superintendent to execute all related contracts and documents. And we have Mr. Kimmer, our Assistant Superintendent, with us this evening. Good evening.
Evening, everyone. It looks like the TV's.
TVs went off?
So, give me another minute.
Okay. So it should be quite a substantial amount of work that happens out at Bicentennial Park this summer. Moving a lot of dirt around, I would guess, with the parking on the road.
That was your chance to plug the village question, Mr. Kimmer.
Well, we're going to have to do something on the millage. I know that in speaking with someone I know that works in the county clerk's office, the May ballot is going to have 4 millages, Ms. Ryder? 4 millages?
4, but one of them is Birch Run Schools, so
Okay.
it's very small
Probably
portion.
3 that would affect our community at all, or voters here would. No? 1?
For Grand Blanc Township is
Just 1?
is one,
Okay, and that's the school.
right.
And then in the fall and November, there probably will be several, from what I'm hearing. Probably haven't applied quite yet, but I know
It'll
of
be a
several.
fun election year.
Yes, I know of several that will be coming up this fall, out, that are county entities. Mr. Kimmer?
All right, we're ready.
Okay.
Okay, so just as a refresher, this is for the Land Water Conservation Fund grant project at Creasy Bicentennial Park, where we were awarded $500,000 in the LWCF funds, as well as $283,000 from HUD, along with matching fund dollars from the Grand Blanc Township Parks and Rec millage. So on February 18th, we had the bid opening. We had 7 bids that came in, which was very encouraging, very competitive bids to have that many companies that bid on this project. Johnson and Sons was the lowest responsive bidder at this amount. And for tonight, I ask for your approval to award this contract to them. The estimated start date, we would probably get started on the pavilion improvements early spring, April, May. The parking lot, we would wait until we finish up some softball tournaments that we have scheduled at the park this summer. So for the parking lot portion, we would look to get started sometime around the end of June to get that completed.
What kind of time frame for completion, any idea?
Substantial completion, completed by the end of 2026, and then in the spring of '27, some, small site work, turf establishment, grass, things like that to clean up in the spring.
So I know, going with the cheapest isn't always the best, but I grant that we probably have researched this company and have
Yes.
solid references.
Yes, and in the letter that Roe had submitted, they did some research on that. I do have Scott Hemeyer here tonight from Roe, if you have any questions about that.
Is Roe familiar with them? Good evening, Mr. Haymeyer.
So Johnson and Sons, we've done a few projects with them, most recently at Goodrich, so they're local, and they've done 75% of the work at money, Miracle Commons.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've always.
Yep, those have been very good projects that I've seen.
Call references for somebody like.
Right, okay. Yeah, both those are very good parks and seen great work done. I know a number of us have been over there. Okay, anything else, Mr. Kimmer?
I'll just give a refresher and for Trustee Ryder. So this project entails redesigning, realigning the parking lot near the South Pavilion. This is also going to increase parking spaces to around 300 plus, adding 13 ADA parking spaces. We're also going to be adding 8-foot wide asphalt ADA pathways to connect the parking lot to the playground and the multi-use trail. We'll also be rehabilitating the existing South Pavilion with a new concrete floor, updating the restrooms, the food prep area, all new electrical, mechanical, plumbing, and adding a family-style restroom with an adult changing table as well. So quite an extensive project and quite the improvement to the park.
My kids want to know when the splash pad's coming back.
At some point.
And when we find money.
That's my only question.
There's that millage plug again.
That's the big plug.
Unfortunately, 2 years ago, almost to the week, as of, I think, the 28th, of February last week, the tornado came through.
Correct.
It's only the second time that a tornado has hit Michigan in the month of February, and it happened on the same exact date 50 years prior. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy.
And 50 years before that, another tornado had hit in Michigan, F2. But anyways, it hit one of the pavilions, but unfortunately not the right one.
Not the right one, yeah.
It hit one of the newer ones instead of the one that we need to replace, but it did hit the playground equipment that we were going to replace anyways, but the pavilion needs help, and I'm glad that we're going to be able to do it using majority of grant money as opposed to all of our community money.
Correct.
Mr. Fike?
So with this 1.2 million, is that it for you guys as far as, is this the last tranche of money?
So, yes, we are essentially exhausting the rest of our fund balance from the Parks and Rec millage dollars. This is probably the last big project that we would be able to do with our existing Parks and Rec millage dollars.
So we're going to have to decide as a board here real soon what we want to do with the Parks millage. We had gone out for a 1 mil millage, and that was turned down not by a huge amount, but the voter turnout wasn't real strong either for that election. But as a board, we're going to have to decide what we want to do on that fairly soon. Otherwise, starting next year, we will have no millage for the park for
Correct.
capital projects.
I'll probably bring that millage language back to you first meeting in April,
Okay.
somewhere around there. The deadline for the ballot language, I believe,
Right.
is May 12th.
Yep. Okay. So you need a motion.
Yes.
I'll make that motion. Mr.
Okay, I'll support it.
Supervisor.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Yancho, I'll support it. We'll go ahead and do the roll call.
Trustee Fight,
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett,
Yes.
Trustee Ryder,
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho,
Yes.
and Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kimmer. Item F, the board will consider a motion to approve the updated liquor license policy number 2-24 liquor license application and liquor license checklist effective March 3rd, 2026. I'm not sure, Mr. Limata or Mr. Chubb, you want to comment?
We both look at Lynn Henry and say, Lynn, you want to comment? And the reason I say it is because our fabulous Deputy Clerk Lynn Henry really spearheaded this and helped us move this forward because, like I said, it had been languishing in different conversations over the last couple of years. And Lynn was able to really sit us down and get us moving, and she did a lot of research on it and really provided a lot of the background. So I would like to turn it over to Lynn, if you don't mind, and just share.
I think that, one of the things that the clerk's office is probably realizing is that when we don't have any other department that can do something, we give it to the clerk's department.
Remember how I kicked off GBTU last year, and I said, I was asking people questions, and I'm like, so who do you think handles that? And they're like, oh, that sounds like a DPW question. I'm like, no, that's the clerk's department. They do tend to catch a lot of things for the township.
So we appreciate, Lynn, what you do in your department there. So if you want to walk us through, I don't know if you were prepared to speak
No,
on this.
I can, that's fine.
Okay.
So Melissa brought this to our department. We had started working out of superintendent's office. Melissa started, and then, so Reagan and I, we did some really good research. We did, looked around municipalities that were, and comparable in our size, but we checked out City of Novi, Grand Rapids, trying to look and see what their procedures and policies were. We are getting more questions now about liquor license since we have 7 and the township's growing. So with that, with what we found across different communities, we came up with this policy, Reagan and I, that is a policy and procedure basically saying, outline from the very beginning, which this checklist will help every single department here at Grand Blanc Township for no outstanding invoices. Liquor license review committee is going to meet at the beginning, and then we'll meet again at the end before we move them forward. So planning and zoning is involved, building department, fire, police, liquor license. So this checklist that has been provided to you keeps everything moving along. We know where we're on the steps, and every application will be treated all the same moving forward. There is a slight increase as well as $1,000. That's the going rate around the state of Michigan as far as the detail to a liquor license is quite extensive. And then there is an application. We did not have an application previously. We just had kind of a checklist a little bit. So now there's an application for everyone to fill out. Everyone will have to fill out the same information, and we're all starting at the same stage in the game. So when that's presented, we can go off of that as the committee, the liquor review committee, and then the board in the end ultimately will make a recommendation as we did tonight, whether we're going to move it forward for a resolution from the board or deny it. Then ultimately it's the board's choice to make that final decision as tonight was. So it's just being clear, consistent, and having everything, because ours was so outdated.
One of the things that, probably most know this, but in the past, the local community used to have a vote as to whether any business received a liquor license in the community. And the board, the township or city could object to that license. Things have changed radically in the past years, and basically, the Liquor Control Commission makes that decision. They ask for our input, but we don't have we don't have a say in the approval or not, just other than a say in it, as well as the police, I believe, as well. But the bottom line is, this is not for every liquor applicant, anybody who's putting a restaurant with a license. This is only those that are coming before us asking for one of our licenses. So you could have a restaurant come into town that bought a license somewhere and is going to use it here. We don't have a process for approving that. Am I correct, Mr. Chubb? I just want to make sure.
That's correct. For a transfer, again, I do think they'll seek our input for the transfer of a Class C license, but the other type of licenses like an SDD or an SDM, which are you're purchasing it but not consuming it on site, so that'd be your typical liquor stores. We don't even get notice of those anymore based on recent changes to the MLCC laws.
Or even a resort license as well, or?
On which type?
Resort license that can go anywhere in the state, or?
I'm not sure about those, actually.
Okay. All right. Yes, Mr. Feig?
For Lynn, we have 7 licenses in Grand Blanc Township. 5 are spoken for?
No, we have 7 available
Oh, we have 7 available.
currently, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so nobody is using this in the township?
We
Yes.
have-
One of ours?
We've given out 2 in the last couple of years, actually.
Yeah.
We gave one to, and this board actually approved them. The East India Restaurant received one of them. The Korean Barbecue over across from Walmart received one of them. We have rejected a few applications in the past as well for places that were, we didn't think.
We've got 7 left.
Well, yeah, and, you only receive incremental amounts every time there's a census, which, doesn't happen every year, so.
They're
our hope-
$1,500 apiece?
No. To buy a license, you're probably looking, I've seen them for 30,000, but they.
No, I mean from us.
Oh, we have an application fee, but we do not charge. I don't know that we can charge for them, but we have to give them out. But we do have an application fee.
I see.
Part of the challenge is that typically, once you award those, it's tough. Say somebody gets a liquor license, and they only last in business a year. That liquor license could be gone. We try to do some things to prevent that, but that's also something to look at is what's the long-term viability of this license staying here?
They could sell it.
That or go out of business and us not get it back. So that's another consideration too. Okay, did we have a motion on that?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Support by?
That application is very complex, but is also very comprehensive. And so I think, that makes it a great move for our township.
Yeah. Okay. There is a motion of a second by Ms. Hugo. Go ahead and call the roll, please.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
And Treasurer Yantro?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item G, the board will consider a motion to approve the ESRI ArcGIS renewal for $10,721 and authorize the township superintendent to execute all related contracts, documents, and purchase orders. Mr. Kimmer?
Yeah, I'll take this one tonight, put on my old GIS hat and help my DPW friends out.
Almost
so that-
forgot you did that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, a long time ago. So the ESRI annual subscription fees, the annual license fees, this is just for our mapping software that we utilize for public works, water sewer lines, zoning maps, assessing, a little bit of everything. So this is just a standard maintenance fee, annual subscription that we've done for probably over 25 years now in some way or another.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Support.
Okay, motion by Mr. Fike, support by Mr. Yancho. Any questions, concerns? Go ahead, Ms. Henry.
Treasurer Yantro?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
And Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item H, the board will discuss proposed legislation, House Bills 5529-5532, through 5532, rather, which would preempt local decision-making. This is something that probably all of you have been receiving information from the MTA, meaning the Michigan Township Association, regarding these bills. I've spoken with a number of our legislators. While some of them feel that they won't move forward, it's not a guarantee. Any thoughts, Mr. Chubb, what you're hearing from other communities on this?
Yeah, yeah, certainly. I mean, the biggest thing is the bills 5530 and 5532 amend the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act, and the big change is the limitation to our local discretion to create a lot size minimum. And it creates a cap at 1,500 square feet, which that's 30 feet by 50 feet. That's incredibly small, so long as it has access to water and sewer, because obviously you couldn't have a septic field on a 30 by 50 piece of property. And so I think every community has a concern. It's interesting, this was supported locally by Cynthia Neely, and I don't know exactly the interest in that, but it's a very small size, and I don't think it works in every community. That's why the Zoning Enabling Act traditionally allowed for local control over a lot of decisions such as this issue.
Yeah. I think part of the concern too is just kind of I don't know if you call it mission creep or whatever, but taking more and more authority away from the local planning and putting it at the state level also makes it difficult for our local areas to shape the way they want their community to be. I mean, in terms, I know Mr. Fike and I had this conversation with regard to housing. Mr. Limata and myself, Mr. Smith, our planning and zoning administrator, had a meeting actually with county officials, probably about 12 of us, or 10 people from the county, had a meeting last Friday and discussed housing. Yeah, we're leading the county, I believe, or have been for years. I don't know about this year, but most years we're leading the county in terms of new housing starts and population growth. So in terms of us restricting, being too restrictive, it isn't holding back people from moving here. So we look forward to looking at any ways that we can help, find affordable ways to build homes and make home ownership something realistic for people. But I think keeping the control local is what we want to attempt to do. I think we have a great planning commission that makes good decisions, and I feel confident in allowing them to continue making those decisions. Yes, Mr. Fike?
I'm on a housing committee now.
Okay.
That we just met today, and it's the county, the Mott Foundation, it's several others. And the other side of this is the housing crunch crisis, call it what you will. We've got it locally, but it's all over the country. And they're trying to make it easier for developers and builders to build houses, less restrictions, make it just easier.
Sure.
And this sounds like this is one of those provisions that would be benefiting the builder, but perhaps not us if the lot's just 30 by 50. So there's a lot more to this in the state. And the federal government has also got a laundry list of things they want to do in the same regard. So look for all of this.
Sure.
I'm wanting builders to build. And at least personally, I think we need housing. And if we can bend some of those rules a little bit without going too far, I'd be in favor of that. So there's more to come on this. I'd like to see exactly what the final bills are going to look like before we can weigh in.
Yeah.
But know that the one side of the coin is, we'd have to give up some local control perhaps. And the other is, yet we'd be good for the builders and the developers to allow them to build new homes. So there's a couple of sides to this story. Yeah.
And the builders love us now. We're building like crazy. Mr. Yancho?
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a mandate that we must have some zoning for mobile home parks and things. Is that correct?
Yes.
Every township does.
The Zoning Enabling Act, every community does generally.
And so, I don't know, those lots are much bigger than 30 by 50. It seems to me like this is, it's outrageously small to have this type of a lot size. I would be in favor of a resolution expressing our opposition to these particular bills in their current form. I'm not sure if that's appropriate, but their current form certainly is not something that I would want to see happen in our community.
Well, before we do that, let's get the bill and let's look at what exactly that it says.
What's the progress on the bill right now?
I'm not sure.
They're in committee right now.
Is that right?
So I don't know, there's no hearing scheduled, but they are in committee.
This was part of the governor's state of the state the other day.
Right. I have spoken, actually, I spoke to the staffer who, it's their legislator that actually has the bills.
And
I'd like to see it.
I guess I'm not saying that we don't need to have some changes made, but I think that in their current form, 1,500 square feet for a lot size is incredibly small.
Yeah.
You can't, to have a 30-foot wide house, 30 by 20, and then where's the driveway?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have a driveway. So this would be on-street parking.
It'd be like living in one of those containers.
Exactly. Well, containers are, 15 by 40 or something.
Yeah.
So we could draft a resolution for the next board meeting if it does appear that it's moving.
Okay.
But I think
Let's-
that is the other concern that's in a lot of communities, like Treasurer Yancho referenced, is there's a lot of intersectionality with safety here. When you look at, if the lot's 30 by 50, a traditional 10-foot setback would mean the house is 10 by 30. You can't, very few houses could be 10 by 30 in any sort of reasonable, design. But the purpose, a lot of it is safety and the ability to get fire trucks between the properties and other, emergency service vehicles. So there's just a lot of intersectionality here on how this impacts life.
Would you be okay with that, Mr. Yancho, if we waited till the next
Yes,
meeting and
just
get the
one more
documents?
comment. I think a lot of the lots in the city of Flint are, if I'm not mistaken, they're 40 by 100,
I would think at least, yeah.
and those are very small lots.
Well, let's get a copy of the bills to everyone. Let's draft a resolution, and we can take a closer look, and we can all investigate and get more information on that. Okay, thank you, everyone, for your input. Item I, the board will consider a motion to authorize annual wage increases for employees that are under an independent employment agreement based upon their successful performance evaluation. So, Mr. Lemata?
As you guys know, every year it comes before you, and when we do our budget this year, we did it at 4%. So proposed wage increases, obviously for your represented employees, all your 7 different labor unions, those employees that are covered, those are baked into their contracts and those go in as agreed and approved. But for your non-represented, which is, the administrative staff, your department heads, administrative assistants, executive coordinators, et cetera, there is no built-in increase. That's up to the board annually to move it forward. In 2026, we budgeted 4%. And so my request, as we are finalizing our performance evaluations, and I don't anticipate, quite frankly, of all of the independent contracted, individually employment agreement employees, that anyone in that group has a needs improvement, which could impact whether they were to receive anything at all. But that's why the request is to go up to the 4%, which is the budgeted amount, which was included in your 2026 budget.
Any questions for Mr. Lemata? So our office workers, their union contract is probably, where are we at with that? The second year of their agreement? And
As far as like your AFSCME group, your clerical employees, clerical 1s and clerical 2s, that contract will be up as of July 31st of this year. So we'll start that negotiation with your AFSCME, Chapter W and Chapter V unions in the next month or so.
Okay.
But like I said, the list of folks, again, all the department heads, assistant department heads, administrative assistants, those are the folks who are under the non-represented that would be impacted by this.
Right. Okay, any questions or concerns?
Make a motion.
Okay, Ms. Hugo makes that motion,
Second.
supported by Ms. Ryder. Any discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Henry.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
And Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to all our employees that fall under that agreement.
Mr. Supervisor, if I may, just especially for Trustee Ryder, how the process works is in January, they receive their self-evaluation forms to complete, where they talk about the goals that they had from the prior year, what they've done this year, and they submit those. Then whoever they directly report to, for the department heads, it's me, for assistant managers, executive assistants, whatever, they go to their respective department heads. And then there's a form that they fill out based upon the employee's self-evaluation, and then that's reviewed and comes to me, then it eventually goes to Human Resources. Usually, we make them effective. They do it in January, gives us February to review, and then any increases authorized by the board would go into effect generally in the first payroll for March.
Item J, the board will consider a motion to approve Resolution 26-09 to allow MERS to include a vesting schedule and a new contribution rate for employees of the full-time union POAM group per the negotiated contract. Mr. Lima.
So last year, during our police department negotiations with the 3 police unions, one of the requests that the patrol and dispatch unit had for us was right now their healthcare savings plan, which when we eliminated retiree healthcare back in 2017, we replaced it with a healthcare savings plan. It's so that they still, new employees have the ability, when hired after January 1st of 2017, came in under this across all of our union contracts. Typically what would happen, as long as they contributed $50 per pay period, the township would contribute $125 per pay period. That allows them to build up a nice healthcare savings plan fund, so ultimately at their retirement, they, replaces what used to be a very expensive retiree healthcare plan. The patrol officers came to us during these negotiations and they said, we'd like to make that be mandatory $75 from the employee standpoint, because we think that would be good for the employees to put more in there. But they didn't ask us to increase ours. So ours would continue to move forward at $125 per pay period, but just the employee's contribution would go from $50 to $75. That was ultimately agreed in the contract for patrol and dispatch. It also then impacts both the sergeant's unit and the executive command unit, because they have a Me Too clause that says anytime that patrol unit has a program or anything in a retirement plan that's better, that it automatically applies to them. So even though it was only agreed to, you won't find the language in your sergeant's or executive command contracts. It automatically applies to them because of the Me Too clause that's in there. This is kind of easy for us because it's them saying we want to kind of force the employees to have better retirement healthcare dollars upon their ultimate retirement. The only caveat that changed for us was it used to be a 10-year vest. You had to work for 10 years before you were vested in the plan. What we agreed to do was make it a graduated vest, so it's 25% after you've been here for 3 years, 50% after 4, 75% at 5, and then 100% after 6 years. So once they've reached their 6 years, they're 100% vested in the portion that the township has paid in. Obviously, they're 100% vested in their portion immediately. We think it's a great opportunity to move it forward. It did come to you. The board did approve this agreement. And so even though our contract went into effect on 1/1 of 2026, MERS was unable, because we didn't finalize these, if you recall, until the very end of December, right before the expiration of the old agreements. MERS, it took longer for them to create this new plan to provide the paperwork. So what you saw before you was the resolution, the agreement, the contribution addendum, that it applies to full-time police. It goes into effect on May 1st. The unions are aware of this, and we just need the board to approve Resolution 26-9 to allow MERS to move this forward. There's 2 authorized signers to MERS. It's both myself and the finance director, Kathy Sostak. I did include the copy of that authorized signatory resolution, so you can see we don't have to redo that one. It is already still in effect from when you guys approved it back in January of 2021.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 26-09. Yes, Mr. Yancho?
I'll support it, but I have a question. Will this help in retention of our officers?
I think, from a retention standpoint, yeah, they're going to have more money in their retiree health care. One of the things when we looked at Treasurer Yancho was, man, now they got to stay here for 10 years or they won't be 100% vested. But quite frankly, that can also be a deterrent to attract people, because with, when you're not offering those defined benefit plans that keep people here for 25 years, or you got to have retiree health care and stay here for 25 years to qualify, we see more officers who move. There's more fluidity in somebody's career, right? So while we recognize that, we also want to be attractive to those people who come in, and if they want to give us 6 years and then, or at the end of their career, or whatever it is, we'll take it, because it's getting harder and harder from a recruitment standpoint for qualified police officers. And if this plan, and that's what we look at it as, it's more attractive for a recruiting tool, and to get them here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions, comments, discussion? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Henry.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Future agenda items, I know we'll have, hoping to have a couple of things on there, but I'll let Mr. Lima go ahead.
So I think what we'll be talking about at the next meeting on, because on March 10th, the board is scheduled to work with their facilitator on finalizing their update on the strategic plan review. I'm glad that it took the time that it did, that we're meeting on March 10th, because it also will include Trustee Ryder as your newest board member, and gets an opportunity to weigh in as well on, we're 1 year into, I guess you did it on April 5th of 2025, so just short of 1 year in to your strategic plan that is 2025 to 2028. We want to make sure we're still on track. It gives us the ability. I did talk with your facilitator this afternoon. He will be here at 5 o'clock that day. I know that there may be a question that somebody may be coming in a little bit later, but his recommendation is that we start moving forward, and whoever comes in, we'll bring them up to speed. I just want to say that we will provide a light refreshment for you guys, so you feel free. You don't have to eat dinner before you get here. We'll make sure there's some food to keep you moving, and probably plan on, it's up to you guys, but plan on up to 3 hours for that evening event. So then on the meeting of the 17th for future agenda, we should have an updated strategic plan, if there's any changes, or at least a discussion to review the items on your strategic plan.
And we may have something on the collaborative group with fire too.
Yeah, with the, however we want to call it, South Genesee County Collaborative Team. Hopefully, we've got something to report on there. And again, we'll have this meeting tomorrow and report back to the board on how well that study was received with the cost. Supervisor Bennett and I discussed, kind of like, even though there might be 5 municipalities as a split 5 ways, well, we could look at it by population, we could look at it by SEV or taxable value. There's a fair way to split it, that because clearly when they come in and do the financial look and the operational look, Grambling Township is by far and away number one as far as the services we offer now. And so when you look at the collaborative efforts that might take place, we may end up having the recommendation that we pay a little bit more. If we have anybody that wants to drop out, and we'll see who still wants to move it forward. And if nothing else, if it came down to Grambling Township alone, I would still probably make the recommendation that we move forward with the study in some shape or form.
Yep, I would agree. Okay, with that, board reports, Ms. Hugo, anything on Planning Commission?
We have a meeting this Thursday. That's all I have to report on that, but I did want to let you guys know that I did my ride-along on Friday with Sergeant Strom. I didn't think I was going to be there I only thought I was going to be there a few hours, but I didn't get home until 3:30 in the morning. So it was a very long day, but he did an amazing job giving me the ins and outs of things that were going on. It was kind of a busy night, backing up other officers, but I enjoyed it.
Very good. Cool. Okay. Mr. Fike, anything with Metro Alliance? Okay. Mr. Yancho, anything Treasurer Department?
Nothing from the Treasurer's Department, but I've been noticing some issues.
Speak in the microphone.
Thank you. I'm tired. I've been noticing some signs around the township that are, they may be related to zoning changes or for large properties for sale. They might be 4x8 or 4x4 triangle signs that are in extreme disrepair. And I would like to see us have an ordinance, maybe we already do, but I'd like to see something done about correcting that, which I consider to be blight.
Okay. We can ask Mr. Lima to have our code enforcement look at that.
We do have it in our sign ordinance, and we can address blight from signs. We've had, in fact, Pepperwood Condos had one in front that we had them remove because of that very thing.
One's on the corner of Dort and Grand Blanc Road. And so I drive past that frequently, and I find it offensive.
Okay.
All right. We don't have Clerk Robertson here, but Ms. Henry, anything?
No.
Okay. I just have a couple of things. One is actually had a meeting with the leadership of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the last week. And there should be a press release coming out soon with regard to the future of constructing a new church on that site. They had a town hall meeting with their people, and we'll let their press release come out before anything's announced, but I think it'll be favorable to the township. Mr. Limata and I this past week had an invitation to visit with some leaders of General Motors, the new General Motors Heritage Center that will be at the site of the former GMSPO building. If you're not familiar with where that's at, it's behind the Elga headquarters at the end of Grand Boulevard right there. I think that's the name of that street right there, but what's that? Grand Point Boulevard. Thank you, Matt. At the end of that street, it's kind of hidden from view, but they're expanding the building significantly. And I will have to say, this will be a showcase for not only Grand Blanc Township, but for the state of Michigan. It is amazing, the work that is being put into this. It's going to be spectacular. You know, one of the things it will host gatherings of up to 500 people in their conference room, or event center, I should say. And then they have additional rooms that hold smaller numbers of people. But it's going to be simply amazing, that the facility to have that in our community. The big question is, that I get is it going to be open to the community? And they are working on what that plan would look like in terms of being open. But the way it's being designed so that it could be open to the public. It's just a matter of how often and for what types of events. But it'll tell the history of GM as part of it, but it will also be the archives where all their important documents from day one will be stored, as well as every engine ever made, and all types of concept cars. It's pretty amazing. The building itself will be absolutely beautiful. For those that have been in the building, they've gutted most of the inside of the building. They've had, the amazing thing is the building was over-engineered, so they didn't have to really do a whole lot of structural work to be able to put vehicles in there. But when we get closer, there's some individuals that we'll want to thank for really advocating for this facility to be located here in Grand Blanc Township. And one of them is a former resident that really has been pushing, from what I understand, to have this facility located here. And I can't tell you how many millions are being spent on this, but it is simply amazing what they're doing. I think Mr. Limata would concur. But that's all I have for tonight. Mr. Limata?
Yeah, I think one thing that's really cool, if you guys remember, coming down I-75 and driving into Detroit, and the big General Motors, the big red letters, General Motors, and so they save those, right? And so they want to put them into this building where it will face 475, and they were worried that it would interfere with the sign ordinance. But we did determine that that is actually an art installation of an antique General Motors sign, not a sign, And so I think it qualifies as an art installation. It'll come across the building facing towards I-75. And I'm excited to see this thing come to fruition because since, they moved everybody out of SPO and it's just been out, but it's awesome to see what this thing is going to be like. And just going through and showing us the design, like when, say, like the Cadillac team is there and they're working up on the second floor, so all the cars will be lined up. It'll be all the Cadillacs throughout the years so that when that team's there, the Cadillacs are there. If the Corvette team is there, then it will be all Corvettes. They had to build two big freight elevators on the sides to be able to move the cars in and out. And again, just the event space, we need the event space here. You come through that entrance, which is going to be this big atrium and very amazing, but 500-seat event space on this side, 200-seat there, I mean, that's awesome. It just means we probably need an additional hotel to make us more attractive. So, Joel, while you're, out.
I'll work on
another job. Work on that if you could. Here or Mundy Township, we don't care, but somewhere in that vicinity would be awesome. I also, I'm excited about the new building. We've got the furniture being delivered as we speak. Everything's kind of coming together. It's great to see. Hopefully, Chief Gent, the refrigerator was delivered or will be delivered. I think I saw confirmation on that. I saw your eyes light up when we were talking about that charge point, and I know you're thinking about EV fire apparatus. I don't think we're ready for that yet. But I think his team is really excited to see the building come together, doing the walkthrough. So we'd like to say before we get it ready, and we'll do the ribbon cutting probably sometime in April. But if the board would like to get in there, maybe before the next meeting, we can arrange that and kind of get you in there and let you see the facilities, because I know the DPW team is real excited. I know Chief Gent's team is also very excited about this new open.
Amazing building. Yeah.
So it's coming, it's happening, it's real.
Anything else, Mr. Levy?
That's it.
Okay. Mr. Chubb, anything other than?
We have the closed session.
Okay. So I'm going to make a motion that we go into closed session pursuant to MCL 15.2681H to discuss an attorney-client privilege memorandum exempt from disclosure pursuant to MCL 15.2.2431G. Is there support for that? Okay. Support by Ms. Hugo. Go ahead, Ms. Henry.
Trustee Ryder?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho?
Yes.
Trustee Hugo?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll stay right in this room.